this guy, he was like, "You look like a sexy Mr. Rogers," and I was like, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I think that's a compliment, and I'm here for it.
What do I look like?
Not a sexy Mr. Rogers.
I thought I looked nice.
You do look nice.
Thank you.
You look like a kind of like a preppy jock school kid.
Who needs to go buy new clothes and hasn't done it in like 2 years because...
No, it looks fine. It looks good.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
He didn't say you don't look like Mr. Rogers. He just said you don't look like a sexy Mr. Rogers.
Actually, yeah. Yeah, what the hell?
You've got the age, that's for sure.
You know what I did to him last? Because I didn't know you could, when you were in your like do not disturb mode on your phone, you could actually add people to it so they can still get to you.
Yeah.
So I had forgotten about it and like, oh, I need to do that. So I did that last night and then I sent him a screenshot of him added to that list. And he's made the list. It's my parents, my wife, and him.
The exclusion.
I know.
And so I sent him the screenshot and then it says like a heart and like whatever, thank you for that or something. And then I was like, yeah, well, I realized I needed to do that so that when you do call me and I hear it ring now, I can still ignore you. Because that's what we tend to do.
That's what Mike tends to do,
and then
be clear. Mike tends to ignore my calls, regardless.
So then Ellie replies back with this.
Because that's what Mike will do. That's what he'll say.
I would probably have flipped you the bird.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's probably what I would do.
In person, though. You wouldn't have. I don't know that you've
I'll take a picture
in person.
That is kind of one of my MOs with clients. When I get on that level, I'll actually just take a picture of my middle finger and send it to them.
On Christmas cards to certain clients, he draws one.
I just draw a middle finger.
Interesting.
Must have got pretty good at it by now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It's kind of degraded, actually.
It sort of looks like a turkey.
Yeah, my kids make better hand turkeys than I do. I can't do it. But yes, that's kind of been my MO with certain clients.
Welcome back to episode 8 of Property Pairings with Eric Kinzler and one Mr.
Mike Pavone.
Mr. Rogers.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm Mr. Rogers today.
Oh, what's the other guy's name? That would be a good
Is he cooler than
outro.
Mr. Rogers? Because Mr. Rogers is pretty
The mailman. No, I have no idea.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't remember his name. And we're drinking a bottle of Jameson, was it Black Barrel?
It is.
Oh.
Which I had an extra one of, and I was like, I need to bring that in. So that's what we're drinking today.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, I got it as a gift. Or, no, you're just like, I like that one.
Yeah, well, it's with that membership I've got, and like pick a free bottle, and it's like, there you go.
Flaviar.
Yeah, works pretty well.
Looking for sponsorships, Flaviar.
I don't think we haven't gotten one from Progressive Performance yet. We're gonna have to try.
Yeah, Jimmy's got to watch it.
How was your week?
It's been a month, so, but brought on a listing today in North Bend. Here's the little spot where you put my listing.
Can you please freeze frame that with him doing this? Because I'd like to use that in some marketing.
Yeah.
I could get a picture of his listing in there.
Thank you, because I think he has one of me.
Yeah, there's one of Mike in front of like a white background, and he's like, I think I did something for Valentine's
You did.
Day
That's
with
why
that.
I want a version of it.
So brought on North Bend today. Exceptional listing.
It's really nice.
Right
looking.
on the river. The marketing looks so good. So much hard work has gone into that.
Was that an AI overlay on the voice?
It is, but it does sort of sound like me.
I was trying to figure out who it was. I was like, is this the guy who made his video?
No, it's AI.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. It's cool. That's the only annoying thing about it. When you're boosting a post on Instagram, you have to say if there's any AI things.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
It's like, does it contain AI generated content? So.
All of it.
I know. I think on one
None
of them,
this
for
is real.
sure, I'm going to use like Morgan Freeman's voice on one of them just for the hell of it.
Ooh, that would actually be pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I don't want to get sued, but that actually would be. I like his voice.
Well, no, as long as you're using the program and you pay for it.
You can do that?
Included, yeah.
Ooh, we could do Darth Vader.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be fun.
Welcome to North Bend.
Right. So yeah, that one's coming on. And then by the time people see this one, Ames Lake will be on as well. So that'll be really fun. My neighbor been working on that.
I was going to ask, is that the one? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that'll be good.
If we weren't indisposed, I would love to be your neighbor.
I wish you guys would just buy it. It would make life a lot easier.
Oh yeah, no, especially with the kids. Like, hey, go over to Uncle Eric's house.
Yeah, go knock on it. Hey, we're going. Oh, you could do the whole like grandparent thing.
Yeah, doorbell
where it's
ditch.
just like just go knock on the door and you're up at the top and you just wave and they're like, we'll see you later.
You know that he'd be like, yes, I've already got plans.
Oh, I know. That would be fun. There's this guy on Instagram who does rave music, but like little kid songs. And
Nice.
I've done a rave for his kids before when they went somewhere.
Yeah, I think we went to dinner or something or
Yeah.
whatever.
And so now I'm like, now there's a whole playlist of like kid songs that are rave music.
They will bust out in kind of rave dancing, and especially when they get little mini glow sticks. They're doing this stuff in the house.
Yeah, it's like black lights and everything. It was really cool.
They still have the letters you put up.
Oh, nice.
Although I did have to take down all that tape. It was you put tape on things and that would light up with the black light.
Yeah.
It was everywhere. So thank you for that.
Yeah, but it was also easy to remove. I tested it out at my house.
Well,
I tried not to
physically
get
it's easy to remove, but when you tell a 4-year-old, hey, I'm taking the tape down, it's been 6 months, and they lose it on you,
Yeah.
it's like, cool.
What else? Yeah, no, just been, my dad's in town, and he has been quite the handyman. I've been putting him on projects everywhere,
Nice.
and he's been a trooper with it.
Well, for context, he likes to be busy, right? And it's really funny when he would come in to the office and he's like, yeah, my dad texted. He sends me a picture of something, and he's like, bonus project. And Eric's like, I didn't ask him to do it.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. He loves to help out and likes to be busy.
He's worked
And
on our
so-
listings. He does a good job.
Several of our listings. So we put in baseboards. He was pressure washing. So at my Ames Lake listing that goes live next week, I had landscapers out there, and I just went ahead and had the landscapers do their house and my house. So we share a driveway, so it's like I got to look like a good neighbor too. Do it all. They finish the day of the thunderstorm. And so then there's copious amounts of rain running everywhere. Bark and mud and rocks are just like askew. And I just had it pressure washed and everything. So Dad got out there like a trooper, pressure washes everything. But because of all that extra mud, there's a drain right in front of our house. So he actually the drain was full, so he had to like dig in there and clean it all out.
He's awesome.
I know, he is. Yeah, and I thought he was here for a whole nother week, and he's leaving on Sunday. I was like, no, it's in my calendar for another week. Like, you're for sure here 2 Sundays. And he's like, this is the second Sunday I've been here. Oh. I thought there was a whole other, I thought there was a whole other week. I had no idea. This week just flew by. So that was good.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun.
Yeah, because you're a little bit older than me, I assume our parents are probably like around the same age. My dad's like super handy and is the same way.
Yeah.
Where he's getting to that age where just needs stuff to keep him busy and
Yeah.
you know. So it's like he's happy to when my brother was renovating his house, come up and do some electrical work, you know. Oh, put an extra few can lights in for you. I changed the switch to a dimmer, you know, all that
I
stuff.
remodeled your
Nice.
bathroom.
Yeah.
It looks great.
Yeah. Yeah. That's been kind of my week. We've set out at inspections. We have a few listings coming up, so it's getting those ones ready as well. And
Yeah, it's interesting because one of them that's coming up, it was we did our walk on the property, and then we did the pre-inspection, and that has completely pivoted what we need to do to get that home ready for sale, because there's a lot of deferred and preventative maintenance that needs to be corrected instead of the really pretty stuff. So we have to kind of triage and put that all back in, put it all in perspective and put it in order. What else?
What about you? Oh, on that listing that we were talking about. We get there, and when we originally looked at it, it was like, no, the roof looks great. And it's like, we had the inspection.
There's no moss on it. The granules all appear to be intact.
Yeah.
It's a 3-tab roof, looks good.
Like, the
I know
gutters
it's a-
look full.
I know it's a 25-year roof, 25-year roof, and then there's a lot of problems. So we got to fix it.
How long does that take?
I mean, it could take a week, but there's the financial component, the scheduling component, putting everything in order. So it's probably going to be a 2-week fix to fix the issues that we found. What else?
Your week. How was your week?
It's been busy for different reasons. So with our other business venture that we're working on, it's been all of that was kind of culminating in an interviewing with a lending partner this week, and that went really well. So that might be that first step to onboarding an entire lending institution to be a business partner.
Nice.
And that would be a step in that direction where, Eric and I could have an amazing stream of business coming in that way. And it's been 3 years that we've been working on this, so that went well.
Yeah. Well, they've been working on this pitch for like
2-3 months now.
Yeah, really dialed in.
It's
So,
been consuming a lot of time and energy, so that is now behind us. I get to set some of that on set it and forget it mode. Like, now that the pitch has been built, it is also reusable. It can be expanded upon. It's kind of a living document now. I have a meeting with attorneys next, so it's been good. It's been a busy week. So
I think business stuff has been a little interesting with some of our under contract things.
yeah,
Condos are.
it's just industry.
Lending on condos is just getting difficult.
It's getting really hard because they have guidelines or thresholds, and if as they're looking through, does this community fit Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac guidelines? The one we're dealing on right now is the insurance deductible is too high, so it's been flagged in their system that all lenders can see now that there is an issue with potentially this HOA, which now impacts everybody in there. And it's like, okay, we got to figure out a way to get around that and fix it.
Which doesn't make any sense to me. Because let's say their insurance deductible is high. And then they decide to add a special assessment for that insurance deductible or whatever onto the individual units. You can, in your insurance, have a rider that's pretty cheap that says, hey, your deductible is always, your personal deductible will always be $1,000. We will take a deductible up to we'll pay up to $100,000 if you get assessed for $100,000 on like an out of the blue, not like deferred maintenance sort of thing,
Yeah.
but if there was an accident that insurance would have to pay out and they went to every unit, it's like $30 to $50 a year for the
That kind of-
$100. Yeah, so there's ways around it. It's just like, why are the lending institutions just not requiring them to have more insurance?
Well, and I don't know if it seems to be primarily that Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, which are these kind of government type sanctioned institutions that will basically back and underwrite loans and say that so you have to kind of follow their guidelines, and so it got flagged and now we have to deal with it. And it's like we've had 2 condos now where something with the HOA pops up that runs afoul of a third party, and now we get tasked with trying to fix that. So that's the part of the job most people don't see.
Yeah.
It's not selling sunset.
Yeah. They have their problems too. New season coming soon.
Who doesn't like whom? who stole whose listing. Isn't that usually the problems? We wore the same dress.
Yeah. Well, that's not a problem to you. You like to.
Yeah, but we sometimes wear the same outfits.
I'm grateful I didn't wear my khakis today. They've been too close.
I would have been happy.
What would you say, if any, are some of the maybe like tax benefits that you've seen people kind of like take advantage of when it comes to owning a home, investing in a home, that sort of thing?
Well, yeah, there's a lot to peel back there, because if you're looking as a primary occupant, there's certainly tax benefits to owning a home, especially, and the most common one people think about is the ability to write off potentially interest and depreciate yourself by that. As a primary owner, when you go to sell, if there's gains on the sale of the home, there's a component of that where if you're filing solely, kind of singly, it's up to $250K in gains on the sale of the home, and if it's filing jointly, it's $500. So there's benefits there. As an investor, there's different write-offs related to costs incurred to renovate, and actually some of that applies also to when you're a primary. But as an investor, then you're also looking at like tax-deferred exchange. So it's a complicated topic. It tends to be a lot of times where most people they don't even wade into the shallow end on some of this stuff because they just get overwhelmed by it. I think it's one of the strengths of actually owning real estate is those different ways that you can leverage it, from the gains on a sale, appreciation, tax write-offs, that it kind of goes all into that. We most commonly deal with people who are looking as their primaries. So we do have conversations that go reasonably deep into the weeds about, we know what you owe and here's what you put into the home and here's what we would project as your proceeds on the sale, and we will have that discussion with them. So whether you're first-time home buyer or your resale, we will have that conversation about, is there ways to look at how much your gains are going to be on the home? And they'll ask, well, what can I do with that? Well, you have the ability to exempt that from capital gains tax, and that would be, and then anything that you can't exempt, then you're looking at long-term capital gains tax, and that's what I think is 18 or 22%, somewhere around there. Yeah. It's a useful. There are mechanisms that you can definitely pull at that make it really useful when owning a home. We do less on the investor side, but even then, when you see when you do like a 1031 or something like that, it can be challenging, but that also allows you to kind of not have to reset your basis and keep moving that money forward and buy the next property of equal or greater value. I've done that quite a few times.
Yeah, you've done a few 1031 exchanges.
It really helps you leverage out from one type of property to another. And it seems like everybody's goal is to get towards like a commercial form of ownership or something along those lines. So
probably the one that we deal with the most, though, is like for sure the mortgage insurance or the mortgage interest. And we'll send out the final settlement statement too at the end of the year, right before taxes are due, so they can send that to their accountant. And then when they're selling their house too, just making sure that they're keeping track of all their expenses. Really important, so that way their cap comes down.
We want to try to crush down how much they would potentially have to pay as much as possible.
Yeah.
Right.
As soon as you buy a home, start a folder, and everything that you put into your house, put the receipt in that folder. Put the receipt, because then you can just, all of it, have it ready when you sell. So it's right off.
Kind of an aside, but the kicker on that is like if you went and replaced carpet and then you did it again, you can't deduct for both. You can only deduct for the most recent, if that makes sense. Yeah. Or a new water heater, if it's you can't deduct for the water heater when you replaced it 10 years ago. If you just replaced it again, you can only use the deductions for one. But it's a way to build. I mean, I've had clients that live in a home for 2 years at a time. As soon as they hit that threshold, they move out. They go sell and they go buy the next one and just keep rolling over the gains from the sale.
He says clients, but I think you're talking about yourself.
I thought about it for a hot minute. Like, we'll just live somewhere every 2 years.
Yeah,
get over that threshold and move to the next one.
You're like, we're living in Issaquah. We're living in Kirkland.
We're
living down the street in Kirkland.
We're 4 blocks away.
we're going to buy this whole parcel in front of us and move on to it and
It's
build a house.
Then I realized what it's like moving so much, and I realized I don't like moving that much.
Moving's not fun.
No.
No, I'm not moving out of our house. In order to move out of my house, I have these like brick stairs that go down to my house. So when we were moving in, you had to move everything by hand down these brick stairs into the house. So I'm not moving all of that out.
Just leave it.
I'm just gonna light it up, call it a day.
Just leave it.
Fully furnished. Have this couch that my dog tore a hole in with when he was a puppy.
I think I remember when he has this big couch downstairs and it got delivered. And wasn't it like the truck wouldn't take it down your driveway or something? Mm-hmm. Didn't your dad carry it all? His dad's the best. His dad carried like each section of this sectional down the driveway.
It's a Costco couch. Yeah.
It's as big as his room, basically.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it was Costco, it's probably like an 8-piece section.
It is large, and it's for the basement. So not only did he take it down all those brick stairs, but then he had to walk down a pretty steep side of our house.
Oh, he went down the left side of the house?
Yeah, that's it.
Ooh.
I think he slid the boxes. So it was a little bit like a slide down.
Did you make him like a special dinner after that or something? That because like for context.
My love is just enough in life for everyone.
The hill that he lives on is kind of like this. It's not like this where if it was snowy or icy and you see those reels or something where someone slips and falls and just keeps going, like that's kind of what would happen on his hill.
Yeah, be a fun little slide
so
down.
So his dad, and it's like to the top of that hill is a couple hundred feet.
Walking up my driveway, I get winded and I'm not like super out of shape. I'm like,
there's a switchback on it,
and you're just like going up that hill. Everybody.
My love is enough. No, he did a lot that day. I remember that.
Yeah, I am very grateful.
He's cool.
So you mentioned, if you're selling, keep track of everything you put into your house. Is it only if you're like, you just bought and you're like doing all these improvements, or you're selling and you're doing these improvements to sell, as far as like expenses that you could go against that like bottom line?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would be both. I mean, any kind of improvements that you're making to the home.
No matter what time during your residence.
Yeah, the big kicker is if you're duplicating something.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you go in, you buy a new refrigerator. You're using that same refrigerator until you sell. It's an improvement.
But if you replace the carpet when you moved in and you move out 15 years later and you replace the carpet before you move out, it's the most recent version of something like that. But yeah, you just track all of that, and essentially you keep track of what year it is in, and then depending on what model you're looking at from like a depreciation component, and your CPA is really the one that's going to want to guide you through that process. But yeah, you keep track of everything. And you try to crush down that value as much as possible so you can try to eliminate any paying on any gains on the sale of the home that go over whatever you're allowed to exempt. You try to crush down any of that overage as much as possible.
Yeah.
If I had some steak bowls for you with chimichurri sauce, like you'd probably never leave, right? You'd hang out with us all the time.
I'm gonna go get one after this.
Yeah. He's gonna go to work.
Yeah.
Working all day.
I want another steak bowl.
Jared
I've made 2 of them now since we talked about it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Jared made one too.
Isn't it good?
Yeah, it was really good.
Our problem in our household is like I was bemoaning this fact actually an hour or so ago, was like, I can make a dish on a Monday and essentially use the same ingredients on a Tuesday with a slightly different dish. The kids will love the Monday dish, will hunger strike on Tuesday. It's like, it's the same thing. It's not rice, it's something else. That's the only difference. And they will not eat it. So if I showed up every day with the same thing, actually probably Clark would like that. If I showed up the same thing every day.
I could eat the same thing every day. I truly could.
Really?
Yeah.
I can do it for like one meal. Like if it was like, okay, lunch is the same every day, but like dinner I need to change it up. You know?
But like if you threw in like chicken breasts or something into that, or something like, you know,
oh, for sure, you could just change up the
protein.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that.
I was gonna ask again, how old are your kids? Because you had the story last week about your son being sick, but I couldn't remember.
They are 6, 4, and 2, almost 2.
Okay, which one was sick last week, or sick?
4-year-old.
Was it Ashton? Because this week it was Blair.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah, Blair was pulling 101 to 103.
Oh, God.
So you get the call from daycare, and they're like, "Hey, so no red flags, no really big issues, but Blair's pulling 101 to 103, depending on where we check on her head. So we'll see you in a little bit." It's like,
I just want to
okay.
know why you're taking her temperature if there's no red flags.
it's like
And
you
it's-
can't
this
lead
is
with
on
no
you.
red flags and then be like, "Bet you got to come get her right now."
Yeah.
So I get her some children's Tylenol, a little dose of that. I got her into her sleep sack. I put her down for a nap. Temperature goes away. She's back to normal. Ripping through the house like nothing's wrong. I'm like, cool. Great. We're here now. And then right before bedtime, you hear her kind of certain cough that she had because she was a little congested. And then it's like, okay, we're back to that again.
Oh.
Yeah, Julia tried to give her the Tylenol the second time. And she just spit it right out, and it was just sitting in my hand. And Julia's laughing, and I'm holding children's cough syrup type stuff. I'm like, "Can you help me?"
Yeah.
So Julia sucks it out of my hand and gives it back to
Gives
Blair.
it back, yeah.
Kids are great.
My dog peed on the couch, so dogs are great too.
What kind of dog do you have?
Half Maltese, half poodle. Tiny
That's
dog.
Probably cute though.
He is, yeah. They're both really cute. They're just, I don't understand the peeing on the couch. He's 2 now. Like it was
Did
just.
they drink too much water?
Does it matter? I mean,
It kind of does. Like we had that happen last week with one of our kids. Like there was a little pee accident. I was like, well, you know, when you drink that big gulp sized thing of water that you snuck while I didn't know that you were doing that, yeah, you're going to have to go to the bathroom.
on the couch?
Well, yeah, it happened, and he didn't wake up, and he was really tired, busy day, and yeah, anyways.
I have no idea. Anyway, that was annoying, so gotta destroy the couch. Gotta get rid of it.
Was it like a defiant thing, do you think?
I think it was, I need to go to the bathroom, and my husband was in a work meeting, so he just went down there, and he's like, "The couch is green. I've chewed up this cushion already. It's kind of mine. I'm just gonna pee on it now." Because I already flipped the cushion so you can't see the chew mark.
Oh, now I'm
So
gonna look
now
for
he's
it.
just like, you know what? I'm gonna pee on it. And I was just like, this is exactly what I was hoping for this week. Like having to deal with dog pee, and Jared comes downstairs and I'm like, there's no need to get upset. I've already hit the wall. I just did a little Otis. Wall hit. We're good. I'm cleaning it up. It'll be fine. Life will be fine. There's not a dumpster fire in the background.
I'm totally gonna flip over the kitchen. Is this the one that the dog chewed?
You'll be able to tell. Like it's right. It's at the corner. You can still kind of see it while it's there.
Otis is just about exactly the type of name that fits that breed, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, we have Otis and we have Oliver.
Oh.
Huh.
Ollie and Odie, who are combined the size of our cat.
They're that small?
Yeah. They're fluffy, so they look like they're larger, but they're 8 pounds each. Yeah.
It's funny that you said small because I would have been like, your cat's that big.
I know.
yeah.
He is. He's a beast. We have to have certain food containers that on their tag will open up because the cat will just hang out right there.
Yeah.
And then if the dogs leave, the container closes. But sometimes the cat will just stick his big head into the food, and the thing will be hitting him in the head, and he's just like chomping.
I'm eating this.
Yeah.
That's funny.
He rules the roost.
Like, do you guys have listings in your past that you've done that are like so memorable where you'd be like, okay, it's like top 5, top 3 houses I've ever sold, like this one because this reason, this one because North Bend because it was on the water, it's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Anything like that?
Well, my history goes back a lot longer. So like we obviously would keep it, I think, to the ones that we've done together.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Neil was a big one.
Yeah.
From like a before and after. So one of like those top 3 listings that we ever did from like from how a before and after would look. It was you ever seen those those movies or movies that are cartoons in nature where you see the kind of haunted house up on the hill and like there's the gate and all these bushes or all. Not that it was spooky like that, but when you pulled up to the house, there was this monstrous bush in the front yard, completely overgrown. They had a very busy life, and so there wasn't a lot of time to do that kind of maintenance, and so things were kind of allowed to go. And then on the inside, they freely admit, like, we lived hard in this house. So when we walked it that first time, it was one of those kind of houses where it's like everything's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so these bushes come out of the yard, and they were talking 12-foot tall bushes, 40 feet long, taking up a lot of volume. New floors, paint. We did the deck, you and I. We put that deck back together.
New roof.
Like we did a lot of work on that house, and I really wish we had done some before and after shots in it. Like we had a couple, but we just got to cranking on it.
Yeah.
That was a big game changing kind of how that house came together.
Maybe just do one each. That was great. Do you
Yeah.
have a most memorable one in the last few years?
Oh, for sure. We did one in Mercer Island that was mid-century modern, which is my favorite style. And these people, like, they also appreciated mid-century modern, so they didn't. Some people will change it, right? These people did not change it. It had like all of the big windows.
The original kitchen just with like updated appliances, and they even like some of the paint that they had in the house was specific mid-century modern colors. It had the secret door that took you into an office. It had a pool that was like 9-foot saltwater heated pool house, views of Lake Washington. I loved doing that house. It was we put a lot of work into that house.
Yeah. The stager that we used was like specific mid-century modern stager.
Who did that?
That was Spade and Archer.
Yes.
Yeah. That was like a dream. It went pending that night, the next night after we listed.
I had done an open house, and we had, on whatever day of the week that was, and we had 30, 40 groups through, and we had offers that night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that my favorite, hands down.
Yeah, there was a lot of impact on that one. That one came out really nice.
But it was like, that one was like a year's worth of work.
Wow.
So it's getting it all ready up until the very last minute. Had a wine cellar too. That was just massive because she used to make wine. And
well, that speaks to the whole how long sometimes it takes to get a place ready.
Compare that wine cellar to the one from your broker's open the other day.
From my broker's open the other day.
Yeah, you said a $5 million place with like the
Oh,
purple dishwasher.
Oh, yeah. Very, very, very different homes. Like that, the broker's open is just like opulence.
Mansion.
Two kitchen islands, like elevator, huge, beautiful yard. The walk-in closet was the size of my upstairs. And it was just that was a beautiful home to walk through.
But the wine cellar, just night
different. The Mercer Island wine cellar was bigger and more wine cellar-y because she was like, this has to be the perfect temperature.
Yeah.
Well, and she even took from past life. She took storage units and things like that.
Yeah.
So and
Because they built it, because it was a carport. I think it was just a larger carport,
Mm-hmm.
and they built a wine cellar in one of the carport spots.
Oh wow,
Yeah, so
that's cool.
yeah, that was an awesome. That was probably my number one top most memorable listing, and to have my name attached to it was like,
Yeah.
we've got a very cute picture of the two of us together. I had to stand on the hill though. There was a little bit of a hill there, so I was more at the same height as Eric.
yeah. That's one of the
Otherwise,
reals.
he would have been like this with me, but I stood on the uphill side, so I could be like that.
We do have a picture, like a waterfront picture, where I think I have my arm on top of your shoulder.
We do?
We just haven't used it, yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's,
I'm not
my
short.
head's partially cut off because we had to get you in there. And,
I'm not even that short.
5'8", quite a bit of difference between 6'1".
I'm not 5'8".
Oh,
5'11" and a half.
I knew you were gonna add in the half. If everyone under 6 foot adds in like a half. No, I'm practically 6 foot.
I'll own it. I didn't crack 6 foot.
I had a doctor one time, but I went in for a check-in. 72 inches, he said. I'm like 6 feet. I'm claiming it.
One time.
I am now claiming it because a doctor told me. I'm not
Yeah,
making this up
yeah,
myself. But then I'll tell people, they're like, how tall are you? 6 feet. They're like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm 6'2", and you.
You got like 3 inches on you, 4 inches on you.
Yeah.
Never really had to go down to that.
Oh, I have a good one. Okay, so we have another listing that we have coming up, and we're getting ready. So we walked through it this week, and we have to walk downstairs. And
Oh, yeah.
the homeowner
Here we
was
go.
like, the
Tell you to
homeowner,
watch your head.
the homeowner goes, "Hey, Mike, you'll probably be all right, but Eric, you'll have to duck a little."
I hit my head too, and Eric's like, nah, he just hit his hair.
He only hit his hair.
I hit my head.
No, I saw it. Your hair
Because I
slightly
ducked a
moved
little
like
bit.
the wind.
I felt it.
It was like the wind.
It may not have been here, like in the forehead, but I felt it on top of my head. My head hit.
I was right behind him.
And I literally yelled out, I was like, hey, thanks for asking for me.
That was
Being
hilarious.
concerned about me.
That's really funny.
Yeah. Oh god.
Yeah, that made his day. You could tell. He
Oh yeah.
I could feel the energy of the joy.
It was. It's just. That's just my everyday life. Being tall. It's tough.
That's exhausting.
Yeah. Exactly.
Didn't I do Sheldon and Leonard?
No,
I do
that's a
that
good one. You could do that
No,
one.
that's a good one. You just talked about the show, but you can actually.
Okay.
But who's who?
Who do you think? Mr. I'm tall, but now I'm conveniently not tall because I have to be Sheldon.
All right, go.
I mean, you did make him Gimli last week, so
Well,
it doesn't have to be a height thing, apparently.
I did, didn't I? Well, thank you for joining us again here on episode 8 of Property Pairings. I'm Sheldon, and this is Leonard. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Cheers.